Look at the internet issue.
I know we went through this the other day, but this is a little more specific. You like my sheets to look
I
at?
got them here.
Okay.
Some technical difficulty. All right.
Okay, the first question I have, Austin, is one of these is the excess levy funds
Uh-huh.
and the other is the regular levy.
Yes, regular
Okay,
levy.
which
and
is the
excess levy.
regular levy?
So the current expense levy, that's the language it's gonna be for the regular tax levy. And if you look, it should be page 1, net taxes to be collected, 2.571 million.
Column E1.
Okay. That's what we would be getting if we
That's
had
at-
no excess levy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
that would be the regular levy. That would be all
So-
we would receive.
The excess levy actually brings in more money to the school system than the regular levy.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that is correct.
Wow.
Got that.
Yeah,
Could be.
just to emphasize to everybody how important the excess levy is, which passed last fall.
Last fall, yeah. Renewed for 5
We
years.
basically couldn't operate school system without it. We have
It pays
2.5
partial.
million.
It pays partial wages, it pays for extracurricular activities, extra bus runs, things like that.
Yeah. So we're looking at 2.5 million without an excess levy. An additional excess levy brings in 3.1 million. So that's, that should emphasize how important that excess levy absolutely is. So that gives us 5.6 million to operate on. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, that's the
Okay,
estimate.
that's
for-
above and beyond what the
for-
state
for
gets.
FY 25, that's the
Okay.
estimate, yes.
I just wanted to make sure
Yep.
I understood that.
And that we let our people know about it too. You know,
I
what
just
what
had
it's
a
for.
quick question. Are you aware there are counties in West Virginia that do not have an excess levy? Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
How in the world do they operate?
Not
Well,
well.
I would assume that most of them either are used to operating that way or they have some sort of massive industry in their county where
But
they've
pay
got a
the
lot of
taxes.
regular tax revenue and
But they have to submit
I
a
mean-
balanced budget, right? And not go over 3% of it. So,
yeah.
I mean.
There's several counties that don't get any state aid. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but some of the counties up north, they have such large oil and gas presence
Yeah.
that they don't receive any money from the
They
state.
have a
So
tax base.
it's all local
yeah.
tax base. Yeah.
The local tax base is a max.
Fowler County, I
Yeah.
think, Doddridge, Ritchie, there's several up there. Maybe, anyways, there's at least 3 or 4 that don't receive any
Yeah.
state aid.
And I'll just say in response to how important the excess levy is, it only passed by 58%. It had to have 50 plus 1 to pass. And it passed 58%, I believe. It used to be overwhelming,
Yes.
but as we lose personnel and lose students, and as we lose students from the Harts area into Logan and from Midway into Kanawha, a lot of people see it's not to their incentive to support an excess levy in Lincoln.
And we're also at maximum excess levy rates too, so.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions for Mr. Lucas? Not, thank you, Austin. All right, with that, I'll ask for a motion and second to approve the tax levy order.
I make that motion.
I second.
Burns makes the motion. Martin seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's unanimous 5-0. This time I'll ask for a motion and second to adjourn the statutory meeting.
So moved.
Snyder,
Second.
Wilson, and the time is 6:06. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Statutory meeting is adjourned. We'll move right on into the regular board meeting. We're meeting in regular session on April 16th. and the time is 6:06 PM. I called this regular board meeting to order. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Barnett for recognition of students.
And I'm gonna turn it over to Ms. Shortridge. I'll pass that buck right along. I will tell you that we very excited and looking at just being out in the schools and seeing some of the projects that these students are doing in their language arts classes and just you know, and I'm gonna give kudos. Where'd she go? She's hiding from me. Oh, there you are. Give kudos back there to the language arts teacher, Guyan Valley High School. She had it was a actual, or Guyan Valley Middle School, absolutely phenomenal Holocaust unit. And I got to see that on a couple of different occasions and just really impressed with the caliber of work those students are doing. And that's a direct reflection on her. So.
All right. Well, we wanted to recognize tonight our young writers winners. They were recognized or maybe even a little embarrassed in front of their peers earlier this month by Miss Dunlap, and they received a plaque. But Mr. Barnett, Mr. Davis were very adamant that this is a big deal, and we wanted to make sure that they were recognized in front of the whole county and in front of their family members. So what I ask, I'm going to announce it. I'm also going to recognize the classroom teacher because we all know writing is an extremely difficult task. And so those of you that have sat through the writing process with these students for this competition, it is much appreciated. So we ask that you come up as well. Students, if you want to shake the hands and remain standing, we'll get a picture at the end, okay? We're going to start youngest to oldest. So the first winner is a second grade age group from Hamlin Pre-K 8, and that is Miss Adeline Love. Her teacher is Samantha Eplin. I don't think she's here tonight, but we wanted to recognize her. The next winner is Miss Kerrigan Blair. She is in the 3rd and 4th grade group. She's from Harts Pre-K 8. Her teacher is Miss Jackie McCann, but she also had some help from the Title I teacher, Miss Amanda Workman.
Congratulations, Kerrigan. And can I ask what she wrote on?
Ask her. Maybe she can.
Kerrigan,
What's
what was the subject that you wrote on?
Very cool.
Memories with a grain.
Great.
Yeah, it made a big impact on those that read it. We didn't know it was you at the time, but it made a very big impact. The next winner is another Harts Pre-K 8 student, 5th and 6th grade category, Miss Parker Workman. Her teacher is Miss Christy Rowe.
And what was the subject of yours?
Become a singer, and then she had a very odd experience at this apartment, and then she went back to her hometown and she became an author.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right. The next winner is in the 7th, 8th grade division. He is from Guyan Valley Middle School. It's Mr. Colton Vickers, and his teacher is a published author, Miss Brianna Falk.
What was yours about?
In 2020, there was a fire at my church, and since then we built the church back. But this boy had a dream about a fire in his church. When he woke up and he realized it wasn't a dream.
Very good.
Wow.
I All right, the next winner is 9th and 10th grade division. It's a student from Lincoln County High School, and I'll ask Miss Akers if she doesn't care to accept the award. Is she here today? Oh, okay, gotcha. So, it is Bailey Miller. You don't care? Yep, her teacher was Katie Akers. And then the last winner, is an 11th and 12th grade student at Lincoln County High School. The teacher that submitted his work was Miss Carrie Polly. And I also like to aggravate him at McDonald's. It's Mr. Caleb Cooper.
Proud of you, Caleb.
Congratulations, Caleb.
Congratulations, young man. Questions? Caleb, what did you write about?
It was a cosmic horror story that explored the idea of unspeakable entities on Mars.
Good.
Unspeakable, nothing right.
Do you guys want to get in the picture? Is it?
Don't just let them.
Okay.
Yeah, just let
Let
just-
them
Everybody
stand.
in the scene, or your mom and dad.
I can't write anything. They're the heroes here.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, good job, guys. Thank you
Yes,
for coming.
thank you.
You know, I congratulate each and every one of you all. That's having the ability to write, to put something down on paper and express your thoughts is not a common skill or gift. You cultivate that and you will do well in life. So I congratulate all of you. All right, we have public comments. No public comments? No public comments. Okay. With that, I'm going to ask for a motion to second to approve the minutes of the April 1st meeting
I'll make that motion.
and April 4th. That's Burns. Martin,
Second.
Wilson seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Brings us to the administrative section. Discussion. I just have a question on the math books. Joni Shortridge, don't run away. Okay. This is a new adoption, of course, coming up. Now, we're going away from the college and careers adoption style format that we had before. Wasn't that what we were teaching? Yes. Okay, I preached for a while. If you were around, I can't remember if you were around when I was doing the heaviest preaching about us changing adoptions all the time. We seem to go from one math style to another in different books, and I don't know why we do that. I know this is going on public review for comment, but I really would like to hear from the principals and math teachers about how they feel about this adoption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From each of the different schools.
Public.
There were 4 kind of standout textbooks that they liked curriculum wise. And so they asked, we asked for them to come back and they did a small presentation for just their textbook committee. And then we met again and discussed, like pros and cons of the textbook. for each vendor. Already was kind of a front runner at first, but we looked at things like, rigor, BOK, intervention, the technology, all of those things, how they interpret the data, whether or not they have a universal screener. And then we came back together and held a vote. But that's required in policy. We have a committee and then they vote. And then what we do is after this is approved, it goes on the 30-day review. And we have to submit to the board, our documentation.
Yeah.
So,
You know, by law, the principal is curriculum leader in the school. And when I was principal, I found out about an adoption when I got the new textbooks usually. I don't know how much involvement principals have now. But I just worry that we go from, I see this way of math where they put these circles all over the place and instead of just adding up 6 + 5 is 11, we go through all this. Well, I'm not the expert, you know. These experts are sitting here and in the county, and I just want you all to make the best recommendation to us, because I'm going to approve whatever you all recommend, because I don't know, but I just want us to make sure that we know.
It's been a very lengthy and tedious process to narrow it down.
Yeah, yeah.
through the, State Department.
Is it mandatory that we adopt off their list and that we must adopt?
We must adopt.
Okay.
From the
It must
extent,
be on the approved.
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
However, we wanted to vet something. It's a long, lengthy process. that we
Yeah.
Should have already done.
Right.
Joni, is the number like K, it looks like K through Trig, West Virginia Real Math, is that the same company? And that's. Yes. Yes. It's K through 12.
yes, it was,
Same book.
yeah.
So that was a big selling point. It also has the option of an advanced algebra textbook for 8th graders because that's on our radar. That's something our principals are asking for down the road. So 8th graders would be able to use this textbook and under the new standards, get a credit prior to high school.
Okay, go back to what Dave was talking about. When you had your principals as the main person making that decision. When I was at the high school, we had 4 different textbooks we adopted because
4
we
different
allowed them to have.
companies, yeah.
And that was a little bit difficult, but
Yes.
even more so in the middle school and the elementary, because again, how you get 1 + 1, how I get 1 + 1 would be different. Then when I jumped to the middle school, it's even a different way to do that.
And then the high
Yeah,
school,
so we were struggling
Yeah.
with our math.
because we had 3
Yeah.
or
Yes.
4 different series
Yes.
from 3 or 4
Yes.
different
I like
companies.
this.
Carrying K through 12.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this.
Yes,
Good.
We shipped samples to all the schools, so every teacher had.
Got to
they
see
could
'em.
go to those classes.
how they felt about it, yeah.
If
Well, I
we
think-
wanted to keep our old series, would we have the latitude to do that?
As a supplement, probably. A
Not,
supplement.
Whatever whatever we're using this year, do we have the latitude to keep it?
As a supplement. Yeah.
main, yes, the main one, you can't,
Process.
Thought that.
yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We thought, what is it, every 8 years we adopt math? 6 years?
5,
That's 6 years.
5 or
6 years ago, we thought this current system we're using now was the best out there. Why do we no longer think it's the best out there?
I think. And intervention resources was on. So that was a, a problem with the committee. The committee did not feel that they met the needs of that. They also didn't feel the DOK and the rigor was there in the textbook after using it, and utilizing it. So, it didn't work very well with our internet. Anytime our kids lost service, they couldn't access the online tools. Where a lot of these textbooks now, you can download them and still work at home.
Okay. Well, let me be argumentative with you here just for a second, 'cause, I mean, it's not, okay?
I was the love
So-
reader.
So 6 years ago, we thought this was the best adoption. And now with things that have happened, we don't think it's necessarily the best adoption. Now, we've got iReady that we are committed to. Now, is this program geared with iReady? Textbooks are written for California, New York, Illinois, and Texas. Now, the rest of the states pretty much have to choose whatever those states pick. And it's college professors that's writing them. So they're not going to make an awful lot of changes for West Virginia when we're only selling 200,000 textbooks. That's small potatoes compared to what's going on in those other states. So they aren't going to invest much time in that. So if we're geared toward iReady, why would we not be choosing an iReady math program? Okay,
And we still have them in the schools and yes.
okay.
So what the textbook committee felt was that that was more of a supplemental source. When you look at the iReady textbook, there may be 4 problems on a page. They didn't feel that the DOK was as high. So that was their concern with iReady.
Okay, well, I'll just touch up. I just wanted to get us thinking about that stuff and really get the principals engaged in this, but because by law, they're the ones that's responsible. If their school's not gonna shape up, they're the ones that's responsible. So they have to buy into this program.
So they were able to follow up with the vendors and ask them specific questions based on our discussions from their principals, from their schools, to get kind of the answers they needed to make a decision. So this was not taken lightly. We know that math is an extreme concern in our county as far as scores go, as far as their domains go. They worked very hard on this.
But we made some silly decisions, not we ourselves, but we in education have made silly decisions periodically over the years. Seems like we changed math programs. We've got Common Core math, we've got new math, we've got all, we just seem to bounce from one thing to another. And you know what I think? Is that the same math that did problem solutions when I was in elementary school is still the same math that solves problems now. Now, there may be different techniques to choose it, but math is the most absolute of all the disciplines that, I mean, it's pretty finite. So that's just my thinking. But anyway, anybody got any other questions?
That is a long and tedious process, textbooks.
Oh,
Thank you for your work and the committee too.
Absolutely. Joni's a star.
Joni, are we gonna build right in over the summer, for all the new math to be presented at next fall to all of the grade levels?
That was
where they-
another selling point, was that the vendors are actually providing professional development in person. It's not a canned curriculum on the computer or online. They're coming here and providing that professional development on this series to the staff in person.
Good,
And when would this be implemented?
next fall,
August.
yeah.
Yeah. standards change. And one selling point was McGraw Hill also was that they provide a pacing guide based on West Virginia standards with their textbook. So a lot of the work's been.
Thank you. Any other discussion on the administrative items?
Thank you, Joni.
See. If no other,
Wait, I have a real.
no, okay.
Quick question. No funds needed for Miss Stone to go to a national public transportation? I'm on K.
She going with her husband,
Yeah,
probably.
she requested no funds. I think you're right. They're going together.
Okay, okay.
No
Make
other
a motion that
discussion?
we approve. Second.
Wilson, Snyder. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Brings us to the finance section. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll ask for a motion in a second.
So moved.
I'll second.
Snyder and Burns. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, before we go into executive session to talk about personnel, I'm gonna ask Mr. Barnett to give us a update on Duval Midway.
Well, I don't know if you've been by there, but there's a whole lot of earth moving. They've got actually all the demolition crew was able to move out roughly 22 days early. And so now the construction crew's in and they're doing ground clearing right now. They've gotten they've done their EPA required testing. They've done their EPA required permits. Now they're doing the lines for any kind of runoff, which again is required by the EPA and the Department of Environmental Protection. They're clearing the hillside now and they're starting to move some earth. They've got their construction trailer moved in. And we've been by there. It can be hammering and raining. They're still out there working. So I'm real pleased with how that's going at this point. We're starting to schedule our construction meetings once a month now with the clerk of the works. And I tell you what, he doesn't cut him any slack, and that's why I'm glad we have him.
Good. Mr. Snyder, you think we can kind of put this on maybe a once a month report instead
That's a
of?
good idea. That's a good idea. We're moving.
Okay, we'll just, the first, well, not the first, let's say the last meeting in the month will be a Duval update.
And some of them will come and talk to us and tell us exactly what's going on. Mr.
Barnett will give
Okay.
us an update on it, the
Okay.
last meeting of every
Okay.
month.
Okay.
So we don't, that served its purpose for a while. And I think that was Mr. Snyder that suggested that we put that on there every board meeting. So,
What's going to?
all right, with that, I'm going to ask for a motion to second to go into executive session on personnel, even though this doesn't necessarily reach the strict level of personnel discussions. We will be discussing people and positions, and something inadvertent might be said about an employee or a situation that would compromise that for us. So as a safety precaution, I'm going to ask the board to give a motion in a second to go into executive session to talk about the personnel issues, and then we'll come out and vote on them after that.
Move. Go into executive session.
Martin makes the motion.
Second.
Wilson seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we will now go into executive session to talk about personnel. Convening in regular session after having been discussing personnel in executive session.
Dave, I'd like to separate,
Hang on a second.
I'm sorry.
Snyder made the motion to return to or to regular session. Wilson seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we are now in regular session.
All right.
Mr. Snyder.
I would like to separate section AA retirements and resignations. I've got a separate item to vote on.
All right, we've had a motion by Mr. Snyder to separate on the personnel sheet. Item AA, retirements and resignation.
Wait, let's look at it. Let us look at it. Where in the world is it, Dana? Way over.
Very,
on
very
the-
nice page.
Oh, I see it. Yes, it is. All right.
It was separated from the rest of the personnel agenda.
Yes, the last thing on that page, yes.
I'll say,
Martin seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And item AA is separated. Now we are ready to vote on the personnel schedule.
Now let me go back.
The only correction I'll ask you to make is under item Q. Scratch the name Cody Newell off that list.
Cody Newell.
Yes.
Third column, first name.
Thank you. I was just starting down there.
And with that, I'll ask for a motion in a second to approve the personnel schedule.
So moved.
Wilson makes the motion,
Second.
Snyder seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And now we will take up item AA.
Get over there.
Ms. Burns has indicated that she will recuse herself
Yes.
from item AA.
Yes, I am. I need to go out now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was just waiting for you to go.
Take all your stuff. You want that?
No,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry.
are we going back into
No.
another session so I can take my things?
You can take everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Need to get my glasses
And
and my keys.
Dr. Burns, I've got another book that we did. I'll get you a copy of it too. It's called Shifting the Money.
We'll do it next week.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we're in regular session.
Yours.
Well, no, not yet.
David, are these yours or mine?
That's mine.
Okay.
Drive safe, Butch.
Wow, this has been a meeting and a half.
Thank you.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
All right. Let the record show that Dr. Burns has recused herself from section AA, retirements and resignation. I'd like to have a motion and a second to approve AA.
So moved.
Wilson. Martin. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? And the vote is 4-0 and 1 recusal. All right, takes us back to white sheets again. And we actually need to go back into executive session, discuss student and professional personnel discipline. Martin makes the motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Snyder seconds. The time is 7:24. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? And the vote is 4-0. Regular session is having returned from executive session. Martin made a recommendation to return to regular session. Snyder seconded it at 7:40. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? And we are back. At this time, I'd like a motion to second to ratify the previously imposed suspension beginning March 19th through May 2nd, 2024, without pay of a professional employee. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Wilson and Snyder. All in favor, say aye. Let the record show the vote is 4-0 with one recusal. And the employee is
Kelly Burns.
Kelly Burns. And takes us to student discipline in accordance with West Virginia Code 18A-5-1A and 61-7-2 and West Virginia Department of Ed Policy 4373. Students A through D shall be expelled from Lincoln County Schools. Do I have a motion? Martin makes the motion.
Second.
Wilson seconds. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? And the vote is 4-0. All right. Anybody have anything else before we adjourn?
7th, I know the next, on April the 30th, we meet at the county table at 5 o'clock. On May the 7th, it says superintendent evaluation presentation.
Yes,
Okay, so what?
I'll be talking with you and giving you stuff about that.
Okay. all right.
But I talked to Mr. Barnett today. I think we can do all of that the same night. It's unless there's some statutory reason why we can't. We can just go over his evaluation. We said it back in September, and we're just going to see how much of it he didn't comply with. Well, yes, you may, as soon as I can find it. I had it on a file and my file is corrupted and I'm trying to track down, Dana may have it or maybe Jeremy. And,
Do you have?
Mr. Barnett's is all marked up, so we'll have it if we have to go back and find it again. But that's where we're at. All right. If not, I'll ask for an adjournment until April 30th at 6 PM at the county table in Hamlin. Do I have a motion? Snyder makes the motion. Wilson seconds. The time is 7:45 PM. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? And we are adjourned.